Alright, this is our 2007 Kia Sorento. It's got the 3.8 liter V6. It's an LX. Um, there's a lot of information all over the internet about the other motors besides the 3.8. The only thing you'll find on the 3.8 motor is that it's got a TSB for some noise from the cam chain area or the valve area, which is kind of important for this video. We bought this from Kia. I was a dealer. They said a dealer demo that had 7,000 miles on it. We bought it. It's got 85,000 on it now. That's it. So my wife drove this thing home. It was running rough. Took a listen to it, checked the codes on it. There was nothing. Sitting there idling, and then it just died. After we started up and turned it off, to check the codes, but it died. Wasn't sure why. Cranked on it, did not sound right. So now this rattle we've been hearing for a while. It had been into the dealership. Again, that was Kia in Menor, Ohio. I've been in there a few times for various things. The recall for the tail light stop lamp switch. We had a broken door handle. A couple accidents that we had them take a look at some stuff to make sure it was okay. That the insurance paid for. But notably, every time I was in there, I talked to them about the sound from under the intake, which is basically right here. Every time they said, "Oh, don't worry, that's part of the TSB." And there's some noise there. It happens on startup, and maybe a little bit after that. And oh, when did you get your oil changed? This has always had its oil changed. It's really clean. My wife takes care of it. She drives it. So on to basically the issue where it's torn apart has a lot to do with that chain noise. So we're going to go over here and I'll show you let's show the driver's side first. So here we have a chain guide for the top. Chain is very tight. And this guide just goes around and loops. It bolts back in right there. See, flips over, and the bolts are right there. Okay, now notice the numbers. Again, there's numbers on the face, and I'll show you something like that in a minute. Just remember where those numbers are. What that looks like around there. All right, going down. Now this motor on the right side of the motor. This motor spins clockwise from the crank down there. So the right side to both sides are the side that is pulling from, basically the drive side, I guess. And the left side would be the tensioning side. It's the slack side. So going down this good side here, you can see basically follow this guide down here. Light down here. Guides. There we go. Around crankshaft. Back up here. Here's the tensioner in this really long arch shape. So it's basically a pivot. Here's the pivot point right there, and that pin, and then that tensioner is down there. So you see it pivots out toward the bottom to keep the tension. Around the intake cam, which has that's your variable valve timing on the cam. Now, onto the passenger side. This is the side that made noise on mine. You'll notice right off the bat there's something missing here. So let's go over the top here and, oh, well, isn't that pretty obvious there? Look at that. It's shaved off pretty good right there. Alright, so we'll follow the same path we did in the other one. This is the drive side. We'll go down basically here. Come down, you can see it's definitely thinner. Okay, it's notably thinner than the other one is all the way down. See how that stayed nice and thick all the way down. Again, here's the passenger side with the noise, and it gets thinner and thinner and thinner, and then right along the bottom it becomes non-existent. If you look inside here, you can actually see the wavy shaved metal shape down to almost that paper thin right there. See, this chain was definitely, let's hang this light up. Definitely getting some, can't hang the light up. There we go. Some slop to it, and let's try to focus at it. There you go. Now look at this. It's a little. Now I did turn this clockwise to get it around to this point. You can see there's I mean, the other side was tight. There's a ton of slop here. A ton. I mean, that's basically, look at down here, that's why it was smacking that right there. You look at the back, you actually see, there's a little shaved hair of the guide, and the little guide mount, and there's nothing there. So, back to the other side, here's ways around the pulley, put anything around the crank. Again, this is a tensioner. That tensioner arch follows that way up. The pivot's here on this one, and down here is the tensioner. So I have a feeling this might be the culprit. Now, they say that these things, you know, they make some noise because they don't pump up on startup and so on and so forth. This motor's never beat on dog, nothing. I mean, we treat this thing well. I mean, it's my wife's car. I don't have the money to be buying a new car every 2 years or every other year or third year or any of that. So this had to last. So, but I did find this plastic piece guide that's on the here. Little plastic guide. That guy was down inside of here, along with some very other pieces. A little interesting thing about these motors is, if you look down, that the valve spring is actually a one-piece assembly with a little piston-like piece right there. That's all one piece. That's kind of cool. There's no rockers or anything like most overhead cams. They have a tappet and a rocker. This is all one piece right on that. It's just a cool. I thought it a little different. So, but anyway, so slack chain. Let's go over and show you the motor, the cover. This is my cover. So this right side is this is over here would be the passenger side because it's, you know, on its face, so it's backwards. So let me start at the top, and we'll for all that guide the same way we did before. So from basically from the drive side, we'll go nice, and there we go. Nice zoom on that, and it gets shaved down there, and right down to that change in height right there, and you can see. I mean, I can't really tell how deep it is, but it's definitely some. And then the other side, so it goes around. This is where it makes that curved arch back up to the tensioner. Tensioner down here, you know, pivots up here. So it came around that corner, and I assumed so fast up that arch because of lack of tension that it did that right there to this support fin. Shaved it down. Now, I'm guaranteeing you I'm going to take this to the dealership, and they're not going to give me a new one of these or anything else for free. Which brings me along the lines of, if you bought your car as a dealer vehicle, I was told by my dealer that I could not, it wasn't eligible for the 100,000 mile warranty, which would have covered this at only 85,000 miles again. You know, I would have just taken this in, they'd have done it all. Yeah, I don't get that, because apparently they used my car for 7,000 miles to let people drive in. Now I can't have the warranty, so. And that was, of course, told to me when I brought it, you know, called them about this issue. Again, you can see this side is the drive side. It sets back farther, so even if there was some slop damage in there, you probably wouldn't see it. I'll show you that. Let's see, light on here. See, they don't sit even. Sits back a little bit. This was a fairly easy pull apart. It wasn't that bad. It's in fact easier than most GMs I've ever done. Everything's simple. The plugs are perfect. Everything, you can get to every single bracket without even having to move anything or fight. It's insane. I did it one socket set, one medium depth snap-on socket set. I did everything. I didn't even need a wrench for anything. Here's when I said to remember the numbers. Look at that right there. That's that tensioner for the top. Excuse me, not tensioner. That's the guide from the top. Now you can see this should be basically the face like this. This thing would sit, you know, on the top piece would be there like that. Now that's gone. The bottom mount area is gone. All this left is this. When I found this, when I opened my valve cover, this is actually sitting at the top of the timing chain, or like just like this, riding the timing chain like a little surf guy. And then you can see that that's timing chain shape right there. Zoom in on that. And there you go. There's that little shape right there. this thing doesn't even look like it's any damn wear on it, so I wonder how long it's been like that. I mean, it's still like a nice arch. And then there's, of course, little pieces of who the hell knows what broke off. Probably pieces and parts of that fin or whatever. Some shavings. I'm sure there's more in the pan, but, you know, don't, this is my warning for you guys that have a little bit of quote-unquote TSB cam chain noise, that it might not be cam chain noise, and there's something that maybe Kia should be doing about this, instead of telling everybody that noise is normal, because, yeah, at 85,000 miles, I don't think a chain should be replaced, you know. Snug up here, and just over there. And I don't think it should be, you know, having this issues. I have a VW R32 Rabbit Mark V, and I looked through my book and didn't see anywhere up to, I believe, past 200,000 miles in the owner's manual about cam chain replacement on that, because that's the 3.2. It's got a cam chain too. So, you know, I don't know what they're, you know, the timing belts on these are different. The timing belts, I believe they say, you know, people say 60, 80,000, something like that around these. But again, this is different from the belt. This is a chain. Most people say life of the motor. Some people say, you know, a couple 100,000. But, you know, this is 85,000 miles. This is kind of a joke. Might be a little close. Let's see. I don't have the battery in it. Well, again, easy job to do yourself, really. I mean, if you got some essential tools, this is the rail I took everything apart with. You know, to get the little trick for you guys if you're going to do it, to get the harmonic balancer off, just put the socket on it, wedge it over there in that frame rail that's right there with a bar, and crank the motor, and boom, done. Bolt comes right out. So, but good luck to you guys, and maybe this will give you a little bit more warning on the, you know, trusting the old dealer when they say it's just a TSB thing.